things because
we're closing.
It's closed.
Yeah.
But I feel really special because I'm here with you.
Just for you.
Yes. And so we're gonna learn how to chop. Cool. So should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it. So I thought we should do some really awesome island vibes. We're gonna do a whole fried red snapper. We're gonna get into sofrito. Sofrito is like traditional. I think it's an island mother sauce, so I think we should definitely learn those skills.
Yes, I have some island in me, so I probably should know.
Yes, and then we're just gonna do some white rice with it, and then some fancy chips that we do here in Colada Shop.
Literally the best chips you'll ever eat in your life. I stuff them down my face.
These are a little bit strong, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make them a bit of a spritz. All right.
Excellent.
This is, I do this often.
Thank you.
Lime, simple, salud. Yeah.
And delicious.
I mean, you can go wrong.
Yeah.
Rum, lime, sugar, little spritz.
Awesome.
All right, so now we're gonna be careful with our fingers. So we're gonna start off with our aromatics. So for Cubans, that's peppers. You have to have green peppers.
Okay.
Just going with sweet peppers doesn't really give you the blend of flavors that we really want or that Cubans are known for.
Right.
So we have green peppers, yellow, red, orange, some tomatoes, garlic, all the good stuff. Cool. So we're gonna start off with, are you intimidated with onions? I'm sure you're.
I'm very intimidated and I cry a lot when I cut onions.
I mean,
is there a secret?
Okay, so I've heard different things like you put a toothpick in your mouth and then you breathe out of it. It's like my mom would definitely put a bowl of water or vinegar.
Okay.
Somehow, I don't know, that just keeps away, but I just feel like if it's a good onion, you're gonna cry otherwise. So knives, the way the handle is, I see a lot of people that will chop this way.
Right.
And your finger might slip, especially if you have a wet hand.
Okay.
I was always taught your knife hand should be your dry hand, and then your working hand should be your wet hand.
Okay.
So you do everything wet, dry. Why? Because you're working with sharp steel.
Right.
So you want to make sure that with your thumb and your index finger, you grab this first, so you want to actually touch the steel.
Okay.
And then that's going to give you the mobility of the knife that you want.
Like rounded.
It's shaped, correct.
Okay.
And so you're going to keep an edge much longer if you use the entirety of the knife.
Okay.
You shouldn't really be afraid if we're holding on the right way.
Right.
So just imagine someone just embracing you in the best way possible.
Right.
And that's what you want to do with your knife. Do your finger claw or, tiger claw, and then just do your first indentation just to give a little bit of stability, and then you're just gonna follow through with your knife. Yep. And there you go. Perfect.
I'm losing my grip.
Or take away both the root and the top of it.
Yep.
And then I always like to do it at an angle.
Okay.
So break this up, and then you go to the other side. There's different ways you can do this. If you want to do a really fine cut, I always like to think, hey, what's my end product gonna be? How do I need to treat my vegetables to give me the best result to like marry the best?
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
My best, and you'll see what I love about cutting an onion this way is that I can go with the shape of the onion. Also, it's a much cleaner experience, and visually, these are the things that get me excited as a chef, where I'm like, it's perfectly cut, and to turn this around, and then that way I don't feel like I'm losing an onion.
Got it.
I'm a bigger fan of a julienne, and then which I can cut again on the side to get a much thinner cut. All right, so I've done this. Let's see how you do with this onion.
All right.
Go in this way and then work up.
Okay, so going at the side.
Yep.
My fingers wanna.
It's okay. You're doing amazing. Then you can put them this way and then chop them up to get that nice little.
I think any chef that I work with would be horrified to see
No,
me cook at
listen.
home.
I learned a really big lesson when I was going to culinary school. I got back home and I think I was the most annoying person to my parents and my mom. My mom was an incredible cook. And everything she did, I was like, are you sure that's how you want to do it? Like, I was taught differently, and she just looked at me and she's like, I'm going to slap you.
This is the way I've been doing it for years.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, my eyes are starting to tear.
So, since we're going to do this step by step, we can definitely start with sauteing our onions.
All right.
So we're just gonna go ahead and pour them into a pan. Basically, I just grab and twist. Okay. And then I work from the outside in.
Okay.
And so what I do is kind of peel back. I twist it to get the skin. With your two thumbs, you just twist back and forth. And then it breaks.
This is a chef workout.
What I love about smashing garlic is it's much easier to chop and put in smaller forms because it's kind of disintegrated and put together.
Right.
So we just do clean smash, and then you gotta use, put your back into it kind of thing, and add the rest of that garlic in there.
Smells like grandmother's house.
Yeah. Seeing what happens to food, like what their stages are, especially with heat and oil as moisture. So you want to make sure that it's okay to add a little bit more oil. Our aromatics are in. I'm just going to reduce the heat. How good is that?
Aromatic.
Haha.
It's aromatic.
So we're going to grab the green pepper first.
Alright.
Alright, so I like to cut into 4 different walls. So do one slice and then create stability for myself, but also do it visually. So, and then do one more. But then this is the interesting little C. So I follow within the cavity and I go in and then I try to take out some of that white, and then this is what I'm left over with.
Can we just compare?
This we're gonna do a julienne, but then we're gonna cut this again into smaller.
Okay.
So again, just to be organized, it's gonna be delicioso.
Yes. So did you grow up eating sofrito?
I grew up eating a version of sofrito. Like, you know, I didn't really have much of an experience with Cuban food until I was almost a teenager when I moved to Miami. My experience of Cuban food was whatever my dad, like, he would make picadillo, so it's ground beef with peppers, onions, tomatoes. Think of like the Cuban sloppy joe, but with olives and raisins. And
Yum. Olives and raisins together is the best combination.
Yep.
I grew up with a dish, chicken and olives.
Oh yes, 100%.
Literally
Love
the best
that.
thing ever.
You know, the vinegariness, how they're very curated. They also help with digestion. Also, there's like a really fun part of chopping bell peppers that they kind of splash at you. So, this is sweating. Also, this is a really important part where I love to add salt. Salt's gonna do 2 things for me. It's when we're layering, and a lot of chefs talk about layering. For me, I like to use salt as an extractor. So using sodium as a way to say, I want to take a lot of that natural juice that's in the onion to extract to give me almost like this onion stocky kind of water, right?
What is your salt of choice?
Okay, so when I'm cooking a lot of things, like at home I use sea salt.
A fine?
A fine is fine.
Okay.
Kosher is usually what I cook with professionally in the kitchen.
Okay.
Funny enough, I carry 3 different kinds of salt in my backpack, so everywhere I go.
True, chef.
No, seriously.
You're the Beyonce of salt. She carries her hot sauce in her bag. You carry salt in your bag.
Alright, so this is doing its thing. We're going to move on to fresh tomatoes.
Great.
So we're going to quarter these.
Alright.
For me, a sharp knife gives you a little bit more confidence when cutting.
Yes.
Because you know what's going to happen versus
Right.
having to struggle with something.
Right.
Interesting part that I love to do with Cuban sofrito is using cilantro stalks. And then we're going to use the stalks only. There's a specific way of using something that's so aromatic. The same when we're talking about lavender.
Right.
When something can just go soapy
Yeah.
versus not, where it's adding. I think cilantro should be used that way, which is why I love to use the stalks. And then using it in actual kind of like a stewed whip.
Oh my god.
Right?
Like, can we just bottle that and make that a perfume?
Listen, don't take my idea away, okay?
I feel like that's how you would get people. Like, that's how you get, like, dates. It's just, like, spraying a bit of, like, sofrito perfume.
Ooh.
Just, like, walk into a bar and you're like...
Oh, the perfume. Just walk in there. Sofrito man. Okay. So we have our cilantro, we have our peppers.
Can you say cilantro again?
Cilantro. So we're just gonna do 3 tablespoons of this for right now. I also want to see the color. Tomato paste is gonna give me that jammy quality that I'm looking for. And so I'm just gonna lower my heat a bit.
Let's look at this jammy amazingness that
This
you guys...
beautifulness.
Like, that is... I helped.
So I might be using a bit like almost 2 teaspoons worth of pimentón. And pimentón, smoked sweet paprika. But oh my god, am I just getting a spa treatment right now?
It literally looks like you're having a steam bath right now.
Am I? And then this is like my secret ingredient, apple cider vinegar. Some salt. Tiniest bit of pepper. Washing of rice for me because I want what you get out of washing rice is, one, you're cleaning. Two, we're gonna remove some of that unwanted starch, which is gonna give us a beautiful pilafy kind of an experience. My mom taught me a pinky trick. What she taught me was, when you're making rice, the level of the rice needs to touch the tip of your pinky finger, and the water needs to reach your first indent.
That's so weird.
Okay, and then we're gonna see what happens. So
I'm shook. Like, this is the one thing, the only thing I needed to learn tonight.
we have some time to drink a bit.
Yeah, probably should
Because
do
the
that.
fish is probably gonna take 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay. So I think we have to do something. We have to do a dance break.
Dance break!
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a slow jam.
We're making sofrito here, okay? I'm pretty sure I was made to Sade. No joke.
It's definitely in
joke.
your blood.
Yeah.
It's in your DNA.
I'm telling you.
Because we're just like
My dad
so
plays the bongos to her.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Sundays-
It's like he romanced your mom. He was like, let me just play some bongos to this.
Sundays is his day, and he takes out the bongo. We have a huge bongo at home, and then he puts on Sade with a cigar, and it's like,
No. Oh
Yes.
my god. So, at least in Jewish culture, when you eat the eyes or the head of the fish, it's good luck.
this is.
Cool. Okay, so what am I doing?
So we want to score this because this is also we're creating steam channels, if you will. When I traveled through Asia, of using cornstarch, it's gonna dry it out basically. So we're gonna get the max. You want your fish to be as dry as possible.
To get crispy.
Correct. So we're gonna use some cornstarch, salt, and pepper.
Okay.
And then what I want to do is with salt, I want to salt the inside cavity first. Chia, Using salt, obviously, into that meat itself.
Okay.
We are dropping a dinosaur in the fryer.
It's literally a dinosaur.
It's a win.
Is in there.
I mean, I got this fish
At the wharf?
yes. And so I was like, hey, do you have like a smaller snapper? And he looks at me and he's like, you want a smaller snapper? And I was like, give me the biggest one you've got.
Won't be like, I cooked your fish. I
It's
see
your
you,
call.
I raise you. This fish is so creepy. Like, its face is being like fried off.
Yes, it's like,
Like it's like yelling internally as it's
I don't
being
like
cooked.
you.
Yeah.
This beautiful bad boy. And when it's warm, it's best. Gonna break it down.
Captures all that flavor. This is a dry ass lime. Holding 10 pounds of goodness right now. Wow.
I'm into what's
One
happening
more.
right now.
That aesthetic, you know, gotta get like a little.
Come on.
We finished it, we did it.
We did it!
Hell yeah.
And you made the sofrito.
Oh my god.
You scored the fish.
I did.
We totally made rice with our pinky. So in my house, we usually, when we're gonna do cheers or basically thank you for coming, we say a Latin saying that says Salud imploring calaverin cookies, which is a really old Latin way of saying I cheers those who are with me alive and also those who were before me. So enjoy this experience.
Let's eat. I mean, I'm good to just dig in.
I'm good to dig it.
Alright, so this,
Uh-huh.
I'm using my fingers, it's happening.
So good.
Dipping into the sofrito. Oh my god.
Yeah,
The fish is literally insane.
good.
The dino fish came through.
Dino fishes.
Dino fish for the win. Seasoned fish.
Un poquito de limón.
This is BTS,
Oh
man.
my god.
Plantain chips with sofrito. Oh my god. I want that on top of polenta.
Yes.
When the people can't see you.